Hi, I'm Naid Ansari, and in this video we're gonna talk about a smart contract more. So without any further ado, let's begin. You remember from last video what we have done, we create a small, simple contract, we call it character. Our character has level, we create some function to change its level and get its level, okay? But of course we could just do one contract for each character, but it will take a lot of gas fee and money to deploy that, so we create one contract for all of our characters, okay? So for doing that, let's just create a new contract here, okay? Click on this contract and create a new file, and I want to call it characters, okay? Character.sol for solidity. So this is the character's soul that we just create, and this one is character.soul that we just modify this template that this remix ID gives us, okay? So first of all, you know that one thing that we should do, we should copy these two lines. The license is important and the version of solidity that we want to work with. So Ctrl+C to copy it and paste it here. And now we should say contract. The name of our contract, I want to call it my character, okay? And start it like this. So with this, we create our my character contract, okay? Like we did it before, we need to create some variables, okay? But because all of our character we want it to be in this contract, so our client can buy them, I want to use something that called a struct, okay? And with this struct, we can create a custom variable. I want to call this a struct character, okay? We have it in gamemaker, right? We have a struct. So we define it like this. Every character has level, okay? So we want to use uint8 for our level of our character. Each character has a ID, okay? So let's just use uint32 for this example, because maybe we have a lot of characters, right? If you just have 255, you can just use uint8, but maybe we have more characters, so let's just use uint32. And if you search this uint32 on Google, it gives you uint32 is an unsigned integer with 32-bit, which means that you can represent from 0 to this value, so it's more than enough, right? So let's just use that. And this is the ID of our character, okay? Each character we want to have rarity, for example, and for that I want to use uint8 as well. Rarity. What else? Next, each character should have a price. Let's just use uint 256, but of course we will change it when we want to deploy it to actual mainnet, okay? I want to call it price. What else our character need? It has level, it has ID, it has rarity, it has price. What else? For example, uint8 speed, a speed of our character. Again, let's just do it one more time for hit point, for example, and you can add whatever you want to this, okay? Hit point is for when they attack somebody else, how much damage it caused them, okay? So you can add whatever you want in this, but if it get bigger and bigger and bigger, what it happens, it will take more space in the blockchain, and for deploying this contract, it will need us to pay more gas fee or pay more money, okay? So this is our character struct. With that, I want to create array of characters, okay? So let's just do that. We say character, it's exactly like a variable type, and we want it to be a list of character or array of a character. I want to call it characters, okay? And that's it. Now we have an array of the character. Let's just compile, and you can see when we compile it, there is no error, so everything is okay. One thing that we can do in here, we can just create some character by writing the code for those character in here. But the better way to do it is creating a function that with that function we can add more character when we deployed our contract to the blockchain, okay? Because when we deploy our contract, we can't write code anymore in it, okay? So, for example, you have 4 characters in your contract, and you want to, after 1 year, you want to add another character to it. So it's better to have a function for creating characters, okay? So let's just create a function. I want to call it add character, okay? The name of the function is this. Next, the body of our function, and right off the bat, it gives us an error. And the error, it says you should set a visibility for that. You remember in last video we did talk about public. So let's just copy this public in here. So now the error goes away, because this add character should be a public, so we can call it. Right now, because we declare it as public, everybody can add character to our contract, okay? At the future video, I will show you how you can change this function, so just you, that you upload, that you deploy this contract, just you and your game can add character, not everybody, okay? But for now, let's just leave it as public. The inputs, we want something for level, so we need a uint8 level. So let's just copy and paste that. And for clarity, let's just add this at the beginning of that because it's just a input for our function. Okay, so let's just do that for all of them. Add this at the beginning of that because it's input. Okay, so I did create our add character function in here, and you can see that I did add this at the beginning of each inputs in here because we want to know what is the input of this and what is the difference between them. Okay, so now with that we should create our character, right? So for that, let's just create a character in here. Character, the type is this. Okay, so let's just copy it from here to here. So the type of the character is this. The name of this character, I want to say new character. So with that, we did create a new character, and now we can say new character dot level is equal to level. Okay, and when we want to do it like this, it gives us an error, and it says type error. The data location must be a storage, memory, or called data. Okay, for variable, but not was given. Okay, and this is for this one. When we are creating a variable inside the function, we should tell this solidity and its compiler what type it is. So we want this character to be in memory. Okay, and after this function finishes, it will get rid of this character in here. Okay, because we will add it to this and we don't need it anymore. Okay, and what this memory is, when we are creating a variable, for example this character variable inside this function, we should tell it that this is a local variable, like in gamemaker. When we put memory in here, after we finished with this function, it will remove it from blockchain, so it won't cost us anything. Okay, so right now it gives us a warning and it says you did declare a variable in here and you didn't use it, so we will use it and that warning will go away. So let's just do this for all of the input. 1 2 3 4 5 6 2 3 4 5 6. So let's just copy them like this. ID from here, rarity. So now we set all of the levels, ID, rarity, price, speed, and hit point correctly. Now we can add it to our character array in here. And you know it, whenever we create a variable outside our functions and inside our contract, it will be saved on blockchain. Okay, so for doing that, we say characters. Okay, these characters array in here dot push, and with this push function we can push this new character in our array. And now all the errors are gone and our add character is finished. So now that we create this add character function in here, let's just test it out. But before we test it out, let's just change the type of these characters that is called characters. Let's just change it to public so we can see it in our functions. Okay, so when we add it, we want to check if it's added correctly or not. If we make it public, we can see it. Okay, everybody can see it. So now everything is okay. Let's just go to compiler and deploy run transaction in here. I will choose this JavaScript. I want to deploy it with this first one, this first account, that is us, and we don't need to set gas limit in here. We don't need to give a value in here because we don't want to purchase anything. And select the contract that you want to deploy and hit deploy, and it deploy it to blockchain, and you can access the functions in here. And you can see it has a function that for add character that we just create, and it has a function for getting the character. So let me show you something. Let's just delete this and change this back to this without public. And now if we deploy it, you can see we don't have access to the characters because at default it is private. So we should change it to public so we can see it here and we can access it. Okay, so let's just delete this and deploy it again. And now you can see we have add characters and we have characters. So for adding characters, we can just do it in here. For example, the level we want to be 1, and after that we can use this. After that, say 2. But there is a better way. Let's just delete this and expand this. Now we can see what we are putting in here. So for example, first character that we want to add to this contract, the level of that we want to be 10, the ID of that we want to start from 1, for example, the rarity we want it to be 50, for example, the price we want it to be 1 Ethereum, for example, the speed of that we want it to be 10, for example, the hit point we want it to be 5, for example. Okay, and hit transact, and it will add that character successfully, and you can read it through here as well. Now if we collapse this and say we want a character number 0 in here, click on this character button and it will give us that character. The level of that is 10, the ID is 1, the rarity is 50, the price is 1, speed is 10, and hit point is 5. Okay, now let's just say we want character number 1. Because there is none, it will give us an error. Okay, so you can see it in here. and you can read through this note that it will tell you that there is no character 1 in here. But if we want to get character number 0, we can get it like this. Now let's just add another character. For example, the level we want to be 20, the ID we want it to be 2 this time, the rarity we want it to be 100, the price we want it to be 2, for example. Let's be done over that. Let's just say 10 and 5. Okay, transact, and now we have 2 characters that we add to our contract, and our client can buy those characters. Okay, so now let's just collapse this, get character number 1, and now you can see the level is 20, the ID is 2, the rarity is 100. Let's just get the 1, the character number 0, and now you can see the level 10, the ID is 1, rarity is 50. So we successfully create a function that after we deploy it, we can add character to our contract so everybody can buy it. Just know this, all of these functions, we will create this function in gamemaker. Wherever we want to add a character, we can do it in gamemaker, or we can do it from a site. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Please if you want to help me, hit that like button. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.